Hey, what is up everyone? Cobi from the Nintendo Blogger here, recording another video. So yeah, today kind of doing just a video about Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Talking about that, what we plan to do on this channel with Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So as you know, the game is supposed to be launching in Europe on November 18th and then in the US on November 20th. So our channel, just kind of giving you all like a channel update, letting you all know what's going on. Our channel plans to do an unboxing on the game. Tim from the latest 3DS games, who also, this is like our joint channel, he's going to actually get the game early, and he plans to he's trying to see if he can actually, like in Europe, try to get the game 2 days before the release date in Europe. So he planned to hopefully have like a world exclusive like unboxing like before everyone else. That's what we're trying to, well, that's what he's trying to do. So yeah, we're just so that he can go on like have footage and stuff of Zelda Skyward Sword, kind of kickstart his walkthrough before like other people do in Europe and then in the US. So yeah. Also, let me know what you think in the comments below about Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Just give me your opinions and stuff like that. Because from what I've seen, I think Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is probably going to be my favorite Zelda game so far. I mean, it's huge, packed with content. It has around 50 to 100 hours of gameplay, and we don't even know yet if that includes the second playthrough of the game. And it also has boss rush mode, a ton of missions and stuff like that. It has it also has 100 minutes of cutscenes. I mean, really, this game is very like story driven, and it's just so packed with content. Also, Nintendo has confirmed a couple of days ago through a tweet that it's actually the biggest video game they've ever made. Like video game wise, like they're not including consoles or anything like that, but they've spent more money and more time and had the biggest team for this game, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, than any other game they've ever made. So this game should definitely not disappoint. I mean, if Nintendo's putting so much attention to this game and like using so much of their resources, I think this game is going to be pretty spectacular. From what I've heard with IGN previews and Destructoid previews, they just talk about how they, like in Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, in the first 2 hours or so, they walk you through everything, but it's not like that stuff just goes to waste, like you don't use that information later. No, pretty much everything in the game is going to be valuable to you throughout the whole game. Items and stuff like that, it's not going to be lame items in the beginning or something like that, or you get a slingshot and then next thing you know you get an arrow, you get arrows, and then the arrow, you only use arrows because slingshot isn't as powerful. No, the game supports RPG kind of like style elements, so you can upgrade your shields and stuff like that. Not only can you upgrade your shields, you can upgrade your weapons. Like the slingshot, you can actually, like usually with a regular slingshot, you'll be able to shoot it one at a time, but then when you upgrade it later, you can shoot multiple pellets at a time. Like just send a huge volley out against enemies. I mean, it's gonna be pretty cool. Like, not every item is going to be underused. So even in the beginning, they're going to be really cool items. Kind of like Okami, I guess you'd say. With Okami, they have cool upgrades and stuff like that in the like earlier levels and stuff like that. And then kind of like at the later end of the level, they had like at the end of the game, the last item was kind of like nah. But they didn't want you to feel like you missed out on any like use of like the coolest items. So I think it's going to be sort of like that. And you know, I mean, from what I've heard with the swordplay, it works really well, very fun, and it's just more engaging than using the waggle. I don't know, I haven't heard too much about the arrow use. I've heard that like it works well, but it's just not as fast as using, like with the Twilight Princess, using the Wii pointer. But you know, you do get that sense of using an actual arrow, I guess you'd say. Also with the game, turns out that they're trying to, like with the game, it's not just going to be like hack and slash or anything like that to where you can take out enemies easily. No, basically every single enemy is going to take some skill. Like you're not going to get far in the game if you constantly swing it like the Wii remote like a spaz or anything like that. Like I have a friend who says, "Oh, I just love playing the Wii because you can shake the remote like a spaz and you get instant win." No, it's not like this game. No, this game is not like that whatsoever. You actually have to have some skill. Even with Bokoblins, like the easiest enemies in the game, they actually block this time. Like it's basically, I think how Miyamoto put it was like, everything in the game is like a puzzle inside of a puzzle, kind of like Inception, Puzzleception, I don't know. But basically, it's like you have the enemies, like they're like a puzzle, and then you have the overworlds, which is like a puzzle, and then you have the dungeons, which are like a puzzle, and each one builds into one another. So, because even from what I've heard, in the overworld, like before you'll get to the first dungeon, you'll play around like 2 to 3 hours. Like, it takes a long, like, this game is just so full of content, and it's just packed with stuff to where, like, even the overworld, like just little islands and extra islands you can go to when you're flying on, your shoe bill, I believe that's what it's called, I can't recall. But, anyway, yeah, all these islands, they're kind of like dungeons, and then the real dungeons are even bigger than what we've ever seen before. So that's pretty cool. And then, you know, I've heard the only thing I've really heard people complain about are saying that the graphics look terrible and that they look like, you know, crap. But seriously, I don't find them. I find them really pretty, in my opinion. Zelda games are not about like totally taking full advantage of like graphics, in my opinion. I think that's what Mario games are for. Zelda games, they're more about art style, and this is what this game is all about, basically. Art's like the graphics. It's like an art style. It's supposed to look like Monet's painting, because even when you see backgrounds and stuff like that, you kind of see a little blur effect, kind of like Monet's artwork, which is what Miyamoto tried to do. But he still did, so it kind of has a mix of like Wind Waker and Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, where it's like cel shading, but then has like adult Link. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks really nice. And then also, this is the first Zelda game to have an orchestrated soundtrack, and I gotta say it's been long enough because, you know, I mean, Star Fox Assault had an orchestrated soundtrack before Zelda, like around 7 years before Zelda, and then Super Mario Galaxy was like the first Mario game with orchestrated soundtrack, I think. So yeah, it's finally time for Zelda to get one and continue having an orchestrated soundtracks. And I think it sounds really awesome. If you just kind of like watch some previews or stuff like that, you'll hear like the da 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 da, like when you get an item and you're like, "Is this okay, mommy?" So anyway, yeah, enough of my rambling. Also, there's a new opening video. I'll go on and put the link in the description, so I don't want to fall into copyright, but you can check it out, and it kind of talks about the story and stuff like that, and just what's going on with like Skyloft and all, and why the world down below is so bad. Hell. So, but anyway, yeah, I guess that's basically it. So thanks for watching. Please don't comment, like, subscribe. Stay tuned for more news updates, other Nintendo related news and stuff like that. So thanks. See ya. Have a good day.